Hello and welcome everybody. I am the Millennial Gunner and I've got something different for you today. I normally talk about guns on this channel because I love firearms. They are probably some of my favorite things in the world. But I want to start expanding my topics into other everyday carry related stuff. Whether that be knives, like so, or flashlights, possibly tourniquets, just stuff that I carry every day or stuff that I'm debating on carrying every day. In this case, knives. I think knives are a really awesome tool. I've been carrying one with me every day since I was 10 years old. I really think everybody should carry at least a knife on them, if nothing else. Cuts open stuff, you can use it as like a pry bar. If you have a good knife, you can use it kind of as a pry bar. And they're just super helpful. In a really bad situation, they can be used for self-defense. It's not fun, but they can be. And yeah, knives are awesome. Everyone should carry a knife. But this knife is made by Cold Steel. It is the Kobun, and in typical Millennial Gunner fashion, we're going to start out by talking about the raw specs of the knife. Then I'll talk about some of the things I like, and then some of the things I don't like. So getting into those raw specs, this knife is I think it's a fairly lightweight knife, especially when you consider that it is a fixed blade, almost full-size knife, I would call it. It weighs 4.4 ounces. The spine of the blade here, or the width of it, is 3.5 millimeters. When you get to the blade length, it is 5.5 inches. This part, oops, sorry guys, didn't mean to bump you. This part here is 4 3/8 inches, and the overall length is 9 7/8 inches. The sheath here is made by Securex, or is made by Securex. It's kind of a Kydex material, or at least that's what it feels like. It might be one of the other high-grade plastics, but it feels like Kydex. And the handle is made of a material called Kyrex, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And the blade itself is made of, it's either pronounced Oz 8A stainless or it's AUS 8A stainless. I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation. If you do, please correct me and let me know in the comments. It is the equivalent of essentially 440C stainless, which means it is a little bit of a softer steel. It still keeps a really good edge. It just, you have to sharpen it more often. But those are the raw specs. I almost cut myself there. Don't do that. Those are the raw specs of the knife. We'll move on now into some of the things that I like about it. The first thing is this handle. Like I said, it is made of this material called Kyrex. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Krayx. Krayx? Something like that. Essentially, it's a rubber-like material. It feels very rubbery to me, except like firm rubber, not like the squishy squish rubber. It's kind of firm, but still has a little bit of give in it, and it's very heavily stippled, which I like that. I think it makes it super tactile, gives it a good stick in your hand, whether you are using it in traditional or a reverse grip, whatever way, it just sticks in your hand. I really like that. It's a good length. As you can see here, I do have a little bit larger than normal hands, and it still fits my hand just fine. And there is even a little bit, let's see if I can show you guys there. It even has a little bit of a palm swell there, which makes it just really comfortable to hold in the hand. But that's the main thing that I really like about it. The other thing is, this is just from aesthetic points. I'm a big Tanto person. I'm a big nerd. I like weaponry in general, if you can't tell. And some of my favorite bladed weapons come from Japan. So the fact that this actually looks like a new age tactical Tanto makes me really happy. I don't know. I just think it looks really cool, really sharp. It's not necessarily like the flashiest knife out there, but there's something simply elegant to it, in my opinion. And I just like that it sticks to that traditional look so much. Another thing that I really like about this knife is the sheath here. Now, I'm going to be very specific. I like the Securex sheath. It sticks in there really well. Like, put in there, it's not going anywhere. Which I like, particularly because I am using this as a in-the-waistband concealed carry knife. I don't want it to be able to get out of its sheath very easily. Now, some people may not like particularly how tight the retention is, because you do have to give it a good little push or pull to get it to draw it. So like, there's a little bit of resistance there. And really the last thing that I like about it is it's cold steel. I'm going to try very hard not to just review cold steel knives on my channel when I do knife reviews, but I'm not going to lie, I just like their products. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. I just really like their knives and their swords and pretty much everything they put out there. They're affordable. I think they're pretty well made, and they have always served me really well. So, let's get into some of the cons, though, because even though overall I really do like this knife, there are two things in it that I'm not a huge fan of. The first one is being the steel that it's made out of. I prefer harder steel knives, just because I don't like sharpening my knife every day, which, with this Oz 8A, like, if I was to do my everyday work with it, it's gonna need sharpening, like, every day. But, maybe not every day, but it's gonna be needing sharpening a lot more often. Typically, I prefer, like, 1065, and I forget the Japanese version of 1065 off the top of my head, but around that grade is what I really like my knives to be. That being said, this being this Oz 8, which is, again, very similar to 440 steel, it's not a bad blade at all. It is very rust resistant. It sharpens very easily, and you can get it to a very, very fine edge. And in reality, it's not like you have to sharpen it every day. I'm just lazy and like to keep a really good edge on it. And because I like to keep a really good edge on it, I end up having to sharpen it a lot. Or I'm going to have to sharpen it a lot. So far, I have not, but I also haven't really been cutting a whole lot of stuff recently because of the injury I've had to my back. It's been kind of keeping me out of day-to-day life for the past week. But what I have cut with it, it is cut very well. It's cut through cardboard boxes super well. Cut through some cord for me pretty easily. It comes out of the box pretty sharp with a good edge on it. But besides just the steel, which, I mean, that's really just a soft thing that I'm not thrilled about. It's not, like I said, it's not necessarily that I dislike it, but I'm just not thrilled about it. What I am not thrilled, like what I really don't like about this knife, is this clip. This belt clip is garbage. If anyone from Cold Steel happens to see this, please change this clip out. Try and switch it out with like a C-clip or just anything that can stick to your belt better, because if you see, this is really smooth. Like, this is stainless steel, and it is just 100% smooth, and it does not have enough retention on there to keep it in your, or keep it on your belt when you go to draw the knife. Like, a really bad thing I've been having happen to me is when I go to draw my knife to cut something, is the knife and the sheath come with it, and that's just annoying. Especially if, like, this knife could be used in a self-defense situation, and if you are drawing it, and in that sort of situation where seconds literally could make or break your life, and the sheath comes out with the blade, that's just no good. So, this is my complaint about this knife, is this clip is just bad. I've already ordered a new clip for it. I'm actually going to put it on right after I'm done with this video. I just wanted to show you guys how it was when it came out of the box first. But yeah, that is the Kobun knife. Kobun? I'm going to have to look up the pronunciation on that. But this is the Kobun Tanto knife. Overall, I really like it. I'm going to be carrying it for a little while longer on a everyday basis just to see if it works. If it does, might be my new EDC. Oh, that's right. Before I wrap it all up, let's talk about the price, which will probably explain some of the things on this. This thing on Amazon is between $38 and $41, depending on who you buy it from. I got this for $40, again, off of Amazon, and that explains why it's like a stainless steel instead of a hard carbon blade, and it might explain that clip. I don't know. Everything else on the knife is really high quality in my opinion, so but it is definitely in the budget knife category, which I like. I don't like spending a fortune on my knives, and yeah, it's not going to break the bank if you're looking for a good fixed blade EDC knife. This won't hurt your wallet too bad at all. But anywho, overall, I really like this knife. I think so far it's serving everything that I needed, or it's doing everything I needed to very well. I find it comfortable to wear in the waistband. The 5.5 inch length is probably the largest I would carry concealed. But so far it's not being a problem. And I like it. If you like this video, please do me a huge favor. Give me a big thumbs up. Leave a comment on what you think about this knife, or if we want to have a discussion, tell me if you prefer fixed blades or folders for your EDC knife. As always, you can find me on Facebook. That's where I do majority of my social media stuff. You can follow along there to keep up with me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and it just helps me get more people to watch my stuff, which makes me feel special, and I like doing this stuff just for fun. So yeah, give me a thumbs up, like the channel, and that's all I got for you guys. So remember, get good, be unsatisfied, and stay chilly, snowflakes.